Have you ever watched episode 1 of something and instantly thought, yeah, this might not be it? That's exactly what happened when I started watching One Piece. It started with a kid breaking out of a barrel and knocking a grown man out. Not only that, but he ended up taking a metal bat to the head and stretching his arm, knocking Alvida out, which is a woman. Hey, my man said his fist is ready to eat for everyone. This all takes place in the East Blue, supposedly the weakest sea in the world, but yet most of the strongest characters we meet are all going to be from there. This gotta be one of the coolest mother suckers out there. Pirate Gold D. Roger, while standing on an execution platform, started the pirate revolution, or what they call the Great Pirate Era, all with one sentence.
俺の財宝か。今日から喋るな。欲しけりゃくれてやる。探せ。この世のすべてをそこに置いてきた。
There is so much lore behind this moment, and it influenced a lot of characters we'll meet in the future to head to sea and pursue the One Piece. We get introduced to Luffy, which is going to be our protagonist. I know he looks simple, but trust me when I say he got a lot going. Shanks, a whole bunch of other side characters, all trying to get to the One Piece. Imagine trading your ability to swim for the power of a god. I can't swim for shit, but that's essentially what the devil fruits are. It gives you the power of a god if you trade your ability to swim, the devil's deal according to what they say. And that's exactly what our main character does, man. He eats the gum fruit, which essentially gives him the ability to stretch his body. But is trading your ability to swim in a world full with the oceans a gift or a curse? The way Shanks reacted in this scene, he was visibly upset at Luffy for eating the devil fruit, which got me thinking, is there more to the devil fruits than it meets the eye? Is Shanks hiding something from us? Shanks being visibly upset, he grabs Luffy. Not only does he grab Luffy, but he tries to shake the devil fruit out of Luffy by holding them upside down. I don't know how that's going to work, but in doing so, we discovered Luffy's devil fruit ability, the ability to stretch the gum fruit. And the biggest drawback to the devil fruit: anytime your body hits the water, you lose your ability to swim. Not only do you lose your ability to swim, but you lose your strength as well. So you essentially become dead weight in the water. This is wild though. Imagine wanting to be king of the pirates, essentially running the oceans and not having the ability to swim. This is a guaranteed death. And then a sea king then proceeded to jump into the frame, and that's when I knew things was about to get real quick. But Shanks said, nah, I ain't letting you have my boy Luffy get lost. But what got me is the look he gave the Sea King and the way it ran away. That moment right there, I was like, yes, I gotta see where this goes. Despite one of the craziest pull-up games by Shanks, dude still got his arm taken by the Sea King, man. And we see Luffy break down for the first time, but it won't be the last, unfortunately. Then Shanks with one of the coldest lines to comfort Luffy: it's only an arm, it's no big deal. Imagine that. Despite all that, they made it out of that situation, although Shanks with one arm less than he went in with. He left his hat with Luffy and told Luffy to bring it back to me someday when you become a great pirate. Imagine that, giving a 7-year-old a hat to bring back to you when you become a great pirate. What kind of influence did this kid have? But this starts the story. 10 years later, my boy Luffy said, yo, I'm ready. And he set out to sea, and I'm here still trying to make it to the gym. The goofy kid is no more. My boy's on a mission to be the greatest pirate in existence, the Pirate King. Luffy's a prime example of if you want something bad enough, you'll do it, because my guy set out to sail on a boat with no plan, no crew, just to dream to become the greatest, and I feel like this is something we could all get inspired from. Just as we were about to start the journey, the monster that took out Shanks, took one of Shanks' arm, pulled up, and Luffy was not trying to dodge the fate. He looked at it head on and took out the Sea King with one punch. That's one thing I'll say I love about Luffy and his character. He doesn't dodge or try to avoid any obstacles in his way. He faces it head on, whether he wins or loses. Now he got a boat, a dream, and a hat. Let's embark on that journey and see who actually comes across to join his crew. We get introduced to El Meppo and Kobe. Kobe plays a big role in this whole series. We'll see him later on when he actually meets up with Luffy again when he's a full-fledged Marine. But Kobe's dream is to be a Marine, and nothing is going to stop him from being a Marine. And Luffy inspired him in regards to following that dream. You ever met a rich, spoiled kid that just has a punchable face? Well, here we go. This is El Meppo. El Meppo, believe it or not, is a Marine or son to a Marine, Captain Axe Morgan. Don't let this guy fool you though. He's not as tough as he looks. He's just a very unhinged Marine. Surprisingly, the Marines in this anime is more of a problem than the pirates. The irony of it all, his first stop is a Marine base. Imagine a pirate going to a Marine base. I think you should be trying to avoid that. But he runs into the man, the myth, the legend, a demon called Roronoa Zoro, a pirate hunter. Being in Dressrosa, which is halfway through the series, I'll say Zoro is one of my favorite characters so far. Not only the way he carries himself, but his work ethic is unmatched. Imagine, right? You go to a marine base as a pirate and you run into a pirate hunter. What do? You would think a logical person would try to avoid this whole situation, but nah, my boy Luffy said, yo, join my crew. And this is the start of a beautiful relationship. Side note, imagine getting shot and the bullets ricochet off you. I can't imagine seeing that shit in person and how I would react. Similar to Luffy, Zoro has one thing driving him: a dream to become the greatest swordsman. Is this destiny? I have no idea, but one thing I'll say, the combination of the greatest swordsman and the Pirate King, this is a match made in heaven. He is the first one to join the crew, and he definitely won't be the last, but this is where we start. The Straw Hats. Zoro joins Luffy, and while setting sail, Zoro said, "You really seem obsessed with this Pirate King thing." And Luffy, in a flashback, had a Shanks moment, or the moment he had with Shanks. The thing that stood out to me most about this scene is when he said, "This hat knows." What does this hat know? I have no idea. To this day, I'm still trying to figure out what does the hat resembles. But we venture off to the next portion of this whole journey into finding the next Straw Hat. Romance Dawn is a simple arc, but one thing with One Piece, everything is connected. So majority of these things you see, they're gonna come up again. Freedom versus control, that's gonna be one of the major themes that we run across this series. For all my day ones, I had made a list on TikTok Live in regards to the arcs that I've seen so far, and I had rated Romance Dawn as C. I think that might change going forward in the series, but so far it's a C. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't anything crazy, but it definitely hooked me enough to where I would say, okay, let me see what's going on. If you guys made it this far, this is going to be the end of the video. I appreciate y'all for watching all the way through. I'm going to start making videos of the review of each arc similar to this. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys like the format, have any suggestions in regards to doing anything better, I'm all ears. I appreciate y'all. Please make sure y'all go follow my Patreon and TikTok channel as well. And please give me a subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video.